Hi, if you want to come on in for some symbolic support, we'll take a look at the Inkblot made in today's inspiration, Christmas Eve. If you want to take a screenshot, so you can scry on your own time and terms for shapes or symbols that speak. Thank you for holding space for me to share my insights. And let's dive in to see if there's any Christmas spirit messages. And as well, I have runes here and tarot. When you're ready, let's relax, release the race and the rush, the hustle and bustle of the busy season. Here we have a snowstorm, so we're hunkered down, safe and sound. And let's relish. Let's wander the abstract atmosphere. Okay, so I'm seeing like light boots and angel. Sorry, I have like weird little hairs. Earworms. Like you might be hearing music, and I feel like the earworms have purpose. And it's something about or like if these earworms and music in general right now, it's like the sound healing is abundant. Maybe you're extra sensitive. You can resonate with that if you're extra sensitive to frequencies and music, but from the divine or from the spirit realm, from the unseen, however whatever language rolls off your tongue naturally, it's being shared and showered at this time. I don't know why I have all these like little anyway. And then the light feet, they look like boots. They're old boots, maybe like old worn cowboy boots, something along that lines. They were like somebody's favorite cowboy boots. And it's like they're stepping in. See, now I can hear country music, and then it brings me to the top. So something about music, earworms, sound healing. Somebody might also communicate through music, like you'll hear messages in songs, like some key words or key phrases. And seriously, like there's like little wisps all over my face. Okay, I'm also seeing one of those glowworms from when I was a kid anyway. It's like this green, I don't know if it was a caterpillar or like a bug or something. It was plush toy, and when you squeezed it, it would light up. So it's like something's lighting the way. And this could be a spirit here that is, thank you, stepping forward. I feel like they've been gone for quite some time. Gold, cup of replenishment. Like what are okay, well, I've been talking about this gold light, divine earworm shower being shared. It's the cup of replenishment. That's super helpful. Thank you. Because it's like when I can hear this music, Mother Earth, it's bringing in not only support from this spirit, and one of them might be a cowboy very specifically, or somebody who really enjoyed country music. But when I hear this music, and it's all gold up there, I don't know if you can see it. And like I can hear things, and it's like it's almost rejuvenating to my skin suit, and I'm like, oh yeah, like those were such good times. And yeah, there might be a minute of like a tear falling in remembrance, but at the same time the actual frequencies and the words like refuel. Okay, so moving on here. It's so lovely. I'm also seeing somebody dancing in spirit, so we're in a like higher level. None of these feel earthbound at this time. They might have even passed a while ago. She's dancing, and she's kind of dancing like if see all these wisps all over my face. Like she was a hippie in the 60s and 70s, and she was, or maybe that's her favorite time, so forgive me. I'm not sure if that's when she passed. And she's not like a young lady or a young adult. She's probably in her 30-ish to 40-ish, but I'm not sure if she's showing me like her favorite time, and that's where she is. She's grooving and moving. You know what kind of reminds me of is in that show, Ghosts. I think it's in the second season. Thank you. And there's a hippie girl in there. So something like that. But this woman is a little bit older. There's a whole hoopla here. Excuse me. Awkward. Alas. Woman holding a heart. So this is the woman I was talking about. Temple path. She too is in this golden auric glow of replenishment with the cowboy in the cup. Appreciation to the world. Like, what a lovely message. This is what the spirits that at least that are stepping forward right now are offering. A cowboy in a cup. Do I have? Oh, I do. I'm so sorry. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. What? And healer of the ages. Okay, we have two definitely male spirits stepping forward, possibly a third, and a woman. And the woman feels like she's in the hippie stages or in the hippie era, I guess at the 60s, 70s. And she's just quite happy and extending gratitude. She's still on her temple path, I can hear. She's just like, yeah, I was always on it. But she's very, very heartfelt. And she's working with other healers, holistic healers. And then the cowboy. And possibly somebody named Mike. A gentleman named Mike. I don't know if he is the cowboy or the second person. Nonetheless, they are all here to literally help. Is definitely what I'm sensing, to help heal the world. To replenish those who carry high vibes. Does that make sense? 6th chakra. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to come back to the Inkblot. That's where I'm being called to go. Oh my goodness. There's like so much like joyful energy and spirit coming through. Seeing a camel, but this camel is very light and is thinking something. Like if I was to see a cartoon and it would have like a thinking bubble or a thought bubble. So something about remembering water could be in regards to the age of Aquarius, or some sort of intention about that. Memory, memoir is coming through. What do we have here? New dawn and letting go. New dawn and letting go. Forgive me, I don't actually know if we're like leaving or in the age of Aquarius, this, that, or the other. Okay, so what it feels like is by them stepping forward in the spirit of our season. So not getting, respecting, but not staying in the space of any religious or cultural or traditional structures. There's a spirit about the season, and that's what's stepping in. And by letting go of the fall season or the autumn season, the winter or wherever you are right now in this Yule season is welcoming in a new dawn. There's like a refreshing energy coming through. Scorpio energy is coming through. Stegosaurus Scorpio. Something old. This is the time to let something old go. And maybe you've been going through that throughout the year and you can resonate with that. Old sorrows to I just heard old souls stepping forward. Okay, so if anyone here resonates, truly is like that old soul kind of feel and a little worn out and tired. Just gonna say it, that's the way I heard it, that's the way it sounded. old souls, if you've just, you know, you're here for a reason, but you're, you know, but it's been a little tiresome, you know, to hold space for youthful energies to find themselves, to hear different things, and to play with the free, do you know what I'm saying, like all that kind of all that kind of stuff, and hold space for that, right? It's like being at a playground, but there's still like parental figures, or like the lifeguard at a pool, there's still somebody holding space, kind of keeping over. And that's the kind of feeling I'm getting as the old souls, and you're being replenished by spirit. And they're balanced in that, and they're showing me like the cowboy again and the hippie girl, like both ways, that not only the male and female, but in the, you know, boots to the mud, and dancing. There's different ways to dance, there's different ways to express, there's different ways to stay light. But it's almost like I can hear like the camel being in the solar plexus space. And that camel is holding a lot of the light that's being received by right now by the old souls. And I don't know, maybe if you feel inspired throughout your day or in the next few days of the heightened season, it's like Halloween, right? That veil, but there's a buffer time on either side. And this is what it's bringing me to. You know, take some time somewhere in the day to receive and replenish and fill your camel hump. Heron, assert when opportunity appears. So when your opportunity lands to receive, I want to opt in to say, you know, follow that call. The spirits are around you, and that's what the message says in there, and that is the owl. The spirits are strong around you right now. And this is the Christmas message. Crow, help with the unexpected. And I think as any parent in one place or time, in any container of parenting, but when I feel like when I'm saying old soul, that's not what I mean, but it's kind of like in the same arena. It's like being a grandparent or an auntie. You're like, you can't really get involved, but you're there. But I don't know, old souls maybe just been feeling underappreciated, and I feel like the spirits are strong around you. Like, receive, you know, like elder to elder, from your space holders, if I may, that are supporting those who are still incarnate. The Stegosaurus Scorpio, letting something go, and perhaps it's that burden, old souls. Maybe. Okay. Switching gears, as I did flip it to win it, so like, share, subscribe, and I'm gonna tag on here. I just don't want to. There we go. Runes, as they're called. They're both animal runes too. So I'm seeing a bull, but it has the scorpion tail coming out front. But this isn't a scorpion tail. It almost has like the ability to curl like the scorpion tail, and it has like can you show it to me clearly? Ish. Peter Cottontail tail. So it's a very curious thing that I'm seeing. So it's kind of like this big tough bull with this scorpion tail, and then this really soft Peter Cottontail. Michael and Peter, so those could be the two male spirits stepping forward. Something about the world. The world. See how that old soul feels alone, but is looking at the world, is here with the world. There's like another layer of guardianship that's stepping forward. something about the weights being on the back. So here, I'm in here, and I can see like almost like a Grinch type thing, and see burdens on the back. They're being worked through. This feels like that old soul kind of feeling. And some might be Grinches. You might just be feeling Grinchy. Thank you. So there's a softness from spirit, including spirit currently incarnate in other old souls that understand and can like feel you. You may not know them, but it's like there's little kindnesses around, and they're, you know, strong like a bull, like the cowboy, and the stegosaurus scorpion. They can maneuver, but then there's the cottontail. I don't know why that doesn't come out fluently. Peter Cottontail, you know, kind of like, because I can see it swaying side to side like the hippie chick, who does have a shawl on, by the way. And she's kind of like twirling. They're there to help. And I feel like this is received in little kindnesses throughout, like your regular life. Might even be in synchronicities. And if you need cowboy style, it comes in cowboy style. If you need it to be more scorpion, like to the point, that's how it's received, or softer. Moon maidens, new beginnings, and the feast of plenty, choices and their consequences. Oh, I'm landing in the space of eye of the ego rising above the fray. Don't worry about it that it's upside down. I didn't check the cards. Yeah, so I'm still in the old soul space. This is definitely an old soul spirit message. So thank you for joining me and holding space to kind of relish in the story as I'm gazing to gain insights. If there's been any burdens that are beginning, that you are working through to let go of, or just simply feeling the weight of the world, I'm hearing like you can not share it, but in the way we would typically think of sharing, but like utilize other resources to help find ways to let it flow, so it's not held like the weight of the world and it becomes Grinchy. The woman holding a heart is stepping forward as soon as I said that. And I'm being reminded the spirits are strong around you, both incarnate and all over the place. Thank you. What else do I see here? I'm seeing somebody light, opportunity chameleon. This is that changing form from the Grinch with the burdens. And this is, all these burdens are like root. So like very primal red. So this feels like maybe a lot of young soul energy, or, you know how that saying is like, the youth is wasted on the young, or something like that. But I don't want to get into those, holding on to those perceptions, but I'm seeing the burdens of some old souls being transformed into the Santa pack. So it becomes gifts, and then you can actually like maybe even give them away, give them back to their sources if you've been carrying them for somebody else. Because it's almost like between the green and the red, by carrying so many things for so many people, you're like a chameleon. You're changing, but it's actually not, almost unrecognizable. And somebody from spirit, many spirits are coming in to like help clean and clear up for my foot, other old souls who are bearing this weight. Why? Because it's time for a new beginning. Because it's time for a new beginning, and to make new choices with the knowledge of past choices and their consequences. And if I'm being very, very honest, don't repeat them unless the results were what you wanted and they were rewardful. Very much all over my tongue today. Okay, moving down the Inkblot. Thank you so much for joining me again and as well. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And, ooh, Queen of Wands coming through. It's like I can see the old souls, like a bunch of hermits almost. Like maybe the inner hermit, maybe you are introvert, extrovert. That's not how I'm overly seeing it in its earthly expression, but I'm seeing like the inner hermit. And there's all these different lanterns and different of people shapes and sizes, but at different energy levels. And it's like everyone is looking at this line, and slowly the line becomes a circle. And it's shared. What else do I see here? I'm seeing mint, peppermint. I'm seeing a ram. This ram has pink horns. So there's something about a kindness. Maybe you are in Aries or the Aryan energy. It's becoming kinder. Okay, so there's the pink I was seeing in the Five of Pentacles. If there is anything that was caging the old souls, anything that you were just like butting your head up against. Okay, I just saw the Aries ram transform into a white buffalo. So there's some sort of wisdom that's being had. This feels like that Grinch as well. And the world again. I think old souls, in the spirit of this, you can sense, see, and feel. So there's a trifecta state of how a good percentage of the world maybe is feeling like they're in the Five of Pentacles, right? We may not be here in the time when they figured out, because there's almost like sometimes 10 of Pentacles. How do you move from the 5 to the 10 in the world? Male and female again. It's almost like watching, being taken to the parents, or like watching your children maybe make mistakes or go through breakups and heartaches, and you can't fix it for them, but you can just be there. That's what this feels like. You can just be there for them. And if you're an old soul resonating in this reading, that you were holding space not only for your life and for your family and friends, but also like you're like a point on a grid, and you just have to, freedom for them to learn and grow on their own, so it'll be received, versus constantly being told. 8 of Pentacles, to create it, to learn how to create it, not paint by the numbers in which maybe you or I or somebody else, but still heed the palette that's available. Oh, and we have this wonderful little piggy. There we go. Marble. The piggy, can we see him? The piggy is stepping forward. This makes me feel like it's just so beautiful. And can we see him if I put him there? No, that's not the case. But okay, so I tried. There we go. There he is. Okay. Thank you. So the chameleon, remember I was talking about the Grinch and the Santa pack, or the Grinch and the burdens, they too are in a different space and time of that as old souls. Like this little piggy went to the market, this little piggy, and I'm seeing that, like, is it with the toes or the fingers? And this little piggy went wee, wee, wee all the way home. There's just, there's different paths to take, and there's different, same with the teddy bears I'm seeing, there's different things they'll need to explore, and we just need to hold space for that. At the same time, not be doormats. This is not about being doormats. I'm hearing like the Grinch's story, like where he might take all of, take the presents and then give them back, and there's forgiveness there. Something along that lines. Anyway, old souls. Okay. Do we have any inspirations for the old souls who are still with me and celebrating and going through this joy and jaunt? I keep seeing this cowboy and this hippie, and it's just so wonderful because they do things completely differently, but the spirit is the same, if that makes sense. The spirit is the same. It looks different, it sounds different, but the spirit is the same. I'm seeing, I think it might be those camels again. Okay, no, it's like a forest bear type, a forest ranger. Here's something to say. I feel like there's creatures on Earth. They feel like guardians of some sort. And it could be like Sasquatch or something along that lines, but it's not what it feels like. But it is in the woods, wherever these creatures are, and they are actually also space holders. Again, they look different, they sound different, but they are doing the same thing, but almost in, remember when I was talking about that grid? And then there's another grid. And that's where these creatures are, but I feel like they're being called in even more. And then there's another one as well. They're more feline in nature. They're more feline. It's like two different sets. Maybe old souls, you'll be seeing them. Like you'll have a sense of when the spirit is around you. And it doesn't have to be like a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. But it's almost like that's the grounding feeling I feel when they're around right now. And like they're up higher, so they stand more humanoid, where the feline energy is shorter or lower. Okay, so we have, we were talking about joy and jaunts, old souls. I really want you to feel that. Closing the door and the initiation. Closing the door of the letting go, understanding, holding compassion for the world as it transforms from, there we go, the 5 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles. You know what? 33 master number. This is where you're at, old souls. This is where I'm feeling. This is your temple path. Sometimes you'll take it cowboy style, or sometimes it'll be hippie style, and then there's a million more, but those are just the two spirits blatantly stepping forward to communicate with me. And plus the other one, possibly a Peter or a Michael, like I said, and he's a healer. But I feel like it's another guardianship. So it's like if the cowboy and the hippie, like there's another triangle, right? Cowboy, hippie, there's this Michael, and then cowboy, hippie, and then there's you, right? And this grid keeps going. If I'm repeating myself like an insane person, I apologize, but I thoroughly enjoy the journey. So the letting go, that closure, I feel like this is on a lot of personal levels. And look at all that yellow, and I'm just going to put that off to the side. Like the coloring, like all over here, and then the coloring all over here. It's like that Stegosaurus. And by receiving to fill up, okay. Remember, like back in the beginning when there was that boot. Oh, the cowboy boot. I totally lost my train of thought. I apologize. I actually cannot remember where I was going. Alas, maybe it wasn't meant to be resaid. But joy. My goodness. Turkey, blessings from the earth. Crane, secret and noble guardianship. We'll take one more as we're getting ready to close out here for the old souls, because apparently my old mind can't even remember. That's okay. Oh, that's why, because I got distracted by the harp. The harp. Nesting, promise, and hope. Okay. And moving about like those dual grids of you yourself being a part of one, and then like those taller beings. They mostly reside in forests. They could be bears, like maybe the bear symbology means something to you. But when they stand, they can stand like at human height or taller. And then the feline. They work on the earth's grid. They help bring about hope, promise and hope from the ground up. And then it's like it's handed off to those who resonate, say midway, to bring it up and move it around. And then there's these other spirits, these guardianships up here that are drawing it down. So the pressure in between is like promise and hope, promise and hope. Does that make sense? Secret and noble guardianship. I feel like you know that if you're here. You know that if you're here. Your space of sense of self, soul, and spirit. There's a particular nobility and integrity to it. And promise and hope, promise and hope. It is there for the world to transform in this season. Oh, it was the music. That's what the harp. There's like a weird little time bubble. I'm not sure what went on there, but I'm gonna release it. I'm gonna release it and not carry it. I'm also seeing a mushroom, like a mushroom cat. Or sorry, it's not a mushroom. It's a red pepper. It's a red pepper. Maybe it's no, it's a red pepper. It's not a jalapeno. It's a red pepper. Ironically, though, I am seeing a massive jalapeno. And I'm also seeing like a Snapchat filter right now. And maybe it is of a pepper or a jalapeno or maybe like a pea pod. And like if you were to, like there's the eyes. Like, yeah. That's funny, the Snapchat filter. So maybe having a little bit of fun and you're communicating. And I can't, like all that peppermint and mint is coming through. Let's see right in here as well. There's a head, and then there's, whoops, I can't do this whole thing backwards. It drives me crazy. There we go. And then there's two heads. And it's like, this is that noble guardianship kind of feel. I feel like I want to recap to the old souls that are still here with me. Release any burdens that you're carrying for others, even if it feels like the noble thing to do, and perhaps giving them back to whose they are to help them grow and learn and move from their 5 to 10 amidst this world, while obviously coexisting in others. You might be being helpful, but are you being helpful just by caring it for them? And, a learning opportunity is possibly taken away. And I'm not trying to be, I'm just simply saying what's coming through as a perspective to contemplate, not necessarily an answer. Receive, old souls, keeps coming through again. Receive, receive, receive. It's asking me to come right back to the beginning of the golden cup with the cowboy and the hippie. Through the music, through sound healing, through frequencies, is you're being replenished. It's not like up to you, but it's like your solar plexus space to receive at some point in time when it feels well. Pause, receive, feel the solar plexus, because from there, yellow, joy and happiness, that's where it'll spread out, especially towards the spring season. And I want to note joy has come out a few times. And this one as well with music, quite specifically, Old Souls. Do I need to say any more? I don't know. Look at me. I'm going to get back to my comfies and enjoy my Christmas Eve and enjoy my birthday. Thank you so much for scrying with me. It's always my honor. And until next time, have a wonderful holiday season from me, Steph, and the Ice Cry Spirits. Thank you.